right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about Bitfarms, stock ticker BITF. They are a Bitcoin mining company. They just put out their January operational update, so I want to go through that. I'm going to go through a couple of pages in their investor presentation. If you're new to the channel or if you have not subscribed yet, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if you're interested, you can become a member of the channel by hitting the join button on the YouTube page. So the join button is right next to the subscribe button. If you don't see that button, there should be a link below in the description. Members have a bunch of members-only content built up, as well as the fact that we do a members-only live stream every Tuesday after the market closes. And on that live stream, members get to choose a company for me to do a deep dive video on. So we have a lot of fun with that, and it supports the channel. So we'd love to see you there. Let's talk about Bitfarms. Okay, so just a quick overview. Bitfarms is trading at just about $1 right now. It's been fluctuating. We'll see how it goes. It's early in the trading day, but that gives it about a $224 million market cap. This is way off of its lows, but it is still tremendously off of its highs. Okay, so just to put it in perspective, this is a historical look at their market cap. So you can see back in October of 2021, when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, this was a $1.35 billion market cap company. So again, it's now trading at $224 million. So you can see that is still down substantially. Okay, with that said, let's take a look at the operational report. So as always, Bitfarms reports their previous month's operation on the first business day of the following month. So they're the first ones to report, essentially. Okay, so let's get to it. February 1st, 2023, 7 a.m. Bitfarms mines 486 Bitcoin in January. Okay, so that's the headline right there. So 486, we're going to put that number in perspective. We're going to compare it to month over month from last month. We'll also compare it to year over year from the same month of last year. And there's a bunch of other data we got that we're going to take a look at. So I just wanted to hit a few highlights from the report before we get to the numbers. Okay, this is a quote from Jeffrey Morphy, the CEO. Pursuing a disciplined approach to investment as the industry consolidates and recovers, we expect to benefit in 2023 and into the next halving event in 2024. So you'll see this is some more positive, optimistic language. I'm going to discuss how Bitfarms has reshaped their balance sheet over the last 3 or 4 months, really over the last 6 months, I guess. They've made some major steps. There was a point in the year where there was some concern here around Bitfarms. When Bitcoin was stuck at its lows in the $16,000 to $17,000 range, Bitfarms had to make some quick decisions, and I think they made the right decisions, and I think their balance sheet is in much better shape, and that's why I'm going to take a look at a couple of pages from their most recent investor presentation, because I think it does a good job of summarizing how they've really reshaped their financial position. And now that leaves them potentially with the chance to get some opportunities here in 2023. Okay, so then from Ben Gagnon, the chief mining officer, 2 network difficulty increases during the month impacted overall Bitcoin productivity, as the network difficulty increased 10.3% on January 15th and another 4.7% on January 29th for a total of 15.5% in January. So a lot of increase in the difficulty level. So obviously that should theoretically negatively impact your ability to mine Bitcoin. But with that, you're going to see Bitfarms did very well. When we look at the numbers, they put up very competitive numbers. Then he goes on to say, additionally, during the month, we deployed more efficient miners in Paraguay, which added a net of 168 petahash per second near the end of the month. So I'm not sure how much that impacted their mining in the month of January, but those were in by the end of the month, so that should help the month of February. Bitfarms does participate in curtailment to send energy back to the grid. This is business as usual for them. You can see this did not have a gigantic impact on them, but they do participate in curtailment, and it does affect their numbers a little bit. Okay, so here's a chart of key performance indicators. Total Bitcoin mined, 486 Bitcoin mined in the month of January. So they had 496 mined in the month of December. Their exahash rate did go up a little, so that means their efficiency went down a little bit. But remember, there were those 2 gigantic difficulty increases in the network overall hash rate and difficulty level. So all things considered, actually, I think you're going to see that this was a good number. So 486 this month versus 496 last month. That's down 2%, or just down 10 Bitcoin. And compared to the previous year, same month in 2021, they had mined 301 Bitcoin. So that, I think, is a 61% increase year over year. So a substantial increase. Okay, month-end operating exahash 4.7. So that is up from 4.5. And that's really those machines that they installed in Paraguay. So their exahash is creeping up a little bit. Okay, Bitcoin per average exahash. So this is a calculation that I always do. And my numbers are a little bit different than theirs because they get a little more scientific and do this on a rolling real-time daily type basis. And I just do it kind of on a monthly average. but you'll see Bitcoin per average exahash was 110 Bitcoin mined per exahash. In December, it was 113, so that's very, very close. So if you look at my analysis from December of 2022, you'll see that I had calculated them at 110. They say they were at 113, but either way, that means they were the most efficient miner in December. They were very, very close to the same level of efficiency in January, which is why I believe they'll still be among the leaders, if not the leader in this category for the month of January. From an efficiency standpoint, this is very, very strong performance. This is a chart of Bitcoin by month that Bitfarms has mined for the last 13 months. So that's all 12 months of 2022 and then January of 2023. So you'll see 486 in January. There was 496, as we said, in December. So very, very similar. November was 453, and then October was 486, which coincidentally is the same number as this month. So this company switched gears sometime in the middle of the third quarter and started paying off debt versus increasing exahash. So their exahash has been fairly sideways for that period of time. Now the difficulty level has gone up drastically in this period of time. These are very good results, and it puts them among the top Bitcoin miners out of all the publicly traded Bitcoin miners in North America. We'll just take a quick look at where that put them in December. Okay, so this is a chart of all the Bitcoin miners, including Core Scientific. So Core Scientific, of course, is in Chapter 11, and they mine a lot more Bitcoin than everybody by far. Okay, so having said that, Core Scientific notwithstanding, Riot was in first place with 659 Bitcoin mined, and then last month Bitfarms was in second place out of the 17 publicly traded Bitcoin miners, not including Core Scientific. Marathon was in third, CleanSpark was in fourth, so I expect Bitfarms to remain competitive. Certainly, these top four have differentiated themselves from the rest of the pack. So I would expect Bitfarms to remain in the top four. We'll have to see how the other three did. Those results will come in, over the next week to 10 days. Okay, so you see 178 out of their 188 megawatt capacity is hydropower. They are almost all hydropower. They're doing a little bit of natural gas right now in Argentina. There is a bunch more planned for that in the future. We'll see how that goes. That has not come online yet. Then we have January 2023 financial update. They paid down over $2.5 million in equipment-related indebtedness during the month, including full repayment of the three highest interest rate equipment loans, totaling approximately $830,000. So that's of the $2.5 million that they paid down, which reduced the total outstanding equipment-related debt to $44.8 million. So they have drastically reduced their debt. I want to go through this because this was something that they needed to do. They've accomplished that, and I think there's more to come. Okay, so they did sell 486 Bitcoin. So remember, they mined 486 Bitcoin. They sold all the Bitcoin that they mined. So they started the month with 405 Bitcoin in HODL. They ended the month with 405 Bitcoin in HODL. But they did get $9.7 million in proceeds throughout the month for the 486 Bitcoin they mined. That's almost exactly $20,000 per Bitcoin. So, that is much, much better than they've been getting for the last several months. So that's one of the reasons they had a little bit of extra cash to continue to pay down these loans. Lastly, they show a slide here. This is their cost of Bitcoin, direct cost, Bitcoin production cost per Bitcoin. This shows the last 5 quarters. So you're going to see here in Q3 2022, which was the most recent quarter, they were showing $9,400 as their cost per Bitcoin. When I calculated it on the financial statements, it came up to more like $10,000, but that was their all-in number on the financials. So that was fairly close. So you can see they have maintained a very low cost per Bitcoin. I expect that will be very similar in the fourth quarter of 2022 and in the month of January of 2023. We won't find that out, of course, until the quarterly financial statements come out in about a month and a half. But historically, because they use almost exclusively hydro, they have not been prone to the massive energy price fluctuations that a lot of the other Bitcoin miners have. So with all that said, let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart and see what is going on here. So like I said, Bitcoin did get very, very oversold in my opinion. It got down to 38 cents per share on December 27th. That's a fairly significant date. As I go throughout a lot of my watch list, December 27th seemed to be the bottom for a lot of stocks, both within the Bitcoin mining sector and outside of the Bitcoin mining sector. So I think that was a local bottom. We then have gone on a very nice rally since then across the market, particularly within the Bitcoin miners. You'll see Bitfarms was no exception to that from the bottom in late December until the middle of January. So just in a 2 or 3 week period, Bitfarms was up 226%. Now, it has pulled back since then, but even now as we're trading today, Bitfarms is still up 163% off of its lows from December. So they're up just about 163% over the last month. I do have a couple of green lines on here, so I want to talk about those. This goes back to September of 2022. Bitcoin was trading at around $22,400 when Bitfarms hit a local high. That was a little bit of a relief rally for Bitfarms. So what I would say is right now Bitcoin is trading above that. Bitcoin's trading at about $23,000. So Bitfarms would still have to run up almost 50% just to get back to where it was the last time Bitcoin was at 22,400. And again, we're at 23,000 right now. So if I go a little further than that, I'm looking for a potential Bitcoin rally. We don't know. We're deep into a Bitcoin rally right now. It's already over a 50% rally. I have a potential price target of $25,000 for Bitcoin. So that would go back to this high here in August. In the middle of August, Bitcoin hit 25,000. At that time, Bitfarms was trading at about $2.33. That would represent a 131% price increase in addition to the 163% increase that we've had from the December low. So I think there's still a lot of room left to run here for Bitfarms. Obviously, the main factor in that would be Bitcoin continuing its rally and continuing to get healthy. Bitfarms, as well as all the other Bitcoin miners, are a leveraged play on Bitcoin, so obviously there's a correlation there. But to me, I do think this is a very reasonable price target over the next, even if it's the next 90 or 180 days. You can see how fast these things move. We had 163% move to the upside in about 2.5 weeks in Bitfarms just this last month. Obviously, this is not financial advice. You guys need to understand your own risk tolerance and do your own due diligence on this. So please invest carefully. Those are my thoughts on Bitfarm and their monthly update. Thanks so much for watching, and remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and if you are interested, we would love to have you as a member. It's $5 a month, and you can hit the join button on the YouTube page or hit the link below. So thanks so much, and I will see you in the next video.